Hello, Wizzy Wizards, and welcome back to the Pursuit of Happiness with me, Pigtail Girl, your friend and fellow wizard. I've been having a lot of thoughts whizzing through my head today as I've just finished and uploaded a new Time Chronicles podcast with Starfire Tor that I really recommend you go and check out. I will put the links down below in the description box. And we were talking a lot about how the vol energy works, the DMA, the dark matter aberration, which, if you're new to my channel, is the source of all evil. Not that it means to be evil, but what it does is what we consider the source of all evil, which is a vampiric energetic that needs to steal souls and feed itself souls to try to regenerate itself, which it can never do. And if you're new to this information, please do go and check out the Time Chronicles on YouTube here, where we go into a lot of this information. And so it was all just starting to make sense to me today. The fact that I have this real sort of guttural rejection of certain Abrahamic religions. And at the moment, many of these religions are sort of in the news, making wars at the moment and asking us to pick a side, which I never want to do because I'm always on the side of the innocent people, whoever they may be. And I'm just never on the side of the minions. Minions are everywhere throughout all walks of life. And it was making me think about Christianity, Islam and Judaism, the three main Abrahamic faiths. Of course, there's also Catholicism, which is slightly different to Protestant Christian faith. And I was thinking about the soul traps and how the job of the invading reptilian force that came in about 10,000, 12,000, so many thousands of years ago, 30,000 years ago, they kept trying to get in and they eventually made it in and took over our reality and managed to destroy all knowledge of the past, of where we came from and who we were, and replace our story with a new story. And what their job was, this is what I was thinking about, what their job is still today and always has been, is to provide souls to feed the DMA energy, right? And they do this by trying to create systems where the human soul can be siphoned off into their DMA vol master. And then I was thinking about those religions, and it's not Christianity. Christianity and the message of Jesus, you see. The interesting thing I was thinking about with Jesus is that it was that he came to save your soul, right? And of course, it's all been mistranslated, misconstrued. People think that they're going to go to heaven and then that, rising from the dead, all this stuff. But when you have your soul, you can continue living, you see. I am the life and the way. I was thinking about that saying that people say about Jesus, how Jesus saves their soul. It is the life and the way. And, you had the Judaism and they have the black box. That black cube, people call it the black cube of Saturn, but I'm starting to think it's something slightly different as a technology. And it might have something to do with trapping your soul, like a soul trap, to feed it to the DMA. So obviously, if you focus your attention into a black box, which is also part of Islam, they have to go to the black box. They have to do their prayers to the black box. They want their soul to go to a named being. They always have the named beings in those religions. Whereas you see, Jesus didn't have a named being. It was just the Father, right? The Father, the Mother, the Holy Spirit. I always call it a mother, father, child, but it's just really the all that is the creator of all things. We can see it as a family because that's how, we might understand things, but it's all in everything. But wanting to connect to these named beings and then focusing your energy and your soul energy onto these black cubes, what a better, symbolically to sort of define a soul trap for the dark matter aberration. And what the Volshadei, when they came here, they wanted to set up systems and find the best systems to harvest souls. And, they would make their god kings, but I personally believe that they would create the god kings. And, we heard about, the fake angels, Archangel Gabriel, who has always tried to tell people these are not the real angels, would force people to enforce these religious ideas onto the masses as a form of mind control. And of course, the thing that was different in the story of Jesus is that he rebelled and turned against Elohim. Now, in the Christian story, and maybe it even goes back into the other Abrahamic stories, there's this thing about original sin, saving our souls from the original sin. But the original sin wasn't with man. It was this DMA, the vol, was the original sin in the universe, that which went wrong at the construction of this universe. There was this vol energy that is the dark matter that cannot fix itself. It's damaged. So it tries to take in the stardust soul energy to fix itself, which it never can. It's almost like a sort of cancer cell. It's taken in the nutrients, but it just, creates more and more cancer. So the original sin really is that vol energy. That's the original sin. And you're trying to save your soul from that being given and fed to that energetic. So one, it started making me understand a little bit more maybe what Jesus was trying to talk about, if you believe Jesus was a real being back in those days, because it seems that the Bible is full of E.T. Elohim stories. And then, you think today about the most successful faiths that are growing and doing very well. And most of them are focused around these black boxes where you have to focus a lot of your soul energy towards these boxes, and it's all about this afterlife. But the thing is, when you're giving your soul to the soul trap, there is no afterlife, because your soul is getting fed into the vol energy. So in a way, you can't be reborn. You cannot be born again. Maybe at the end of this universe, when it all collapses and then the new one is created, the souls are released and they go back. But for quite a long time, what we would consider millions, billions of years until this universe collapses, these souls will be trapped inside that dark matter aberration and have they won't have any identity. And also they'll be energetically connected to this source of all evil. So in a way, that's not a very nice existence. And then I was starting to see why I'm so had this strong negative pull away from those sorts of religions. And do go and watch the Time Chronicles, because it just all started to make sense for me today, as we were talking about the soul traps and how the whole main thing of this minion system is to steal your soul. A lot of people think it's only about power or, enslaving us and taking away our freedoms, but that's not even really the full true story of it. The true story is it's about creating systems that funnel as many souls as possible into the dark matter aberration. And that's really what the job of the minions is. And so I believe they've been experimenting on this planet with different systems, trying to find the one, that works the best. And then obviously the better it works, to try to then eradicate the other beings that don't belong to those systems, and then take them over with these systems where they worship the black box, or that their souls, many souls, very successfully are going into that dark matter aberration. So it starts to give you a whole new perspective on what's going on in the world, which I found quite interesting. And at this point, I'd like to do a little advert in my show, while I've got your attention, for these amazing bracelets. This is a real crystal. This is garnet that I'm wearing here. And why I really like these crystal bracelets in particular, and why I wanted to mention them on my show, because you'll notice that I don't do many adverts on my show. For many things, I have to really believe in something to do an advert. And this company I got these crystal bracelets from, it's called Otter Spirit. And why I really like it, one, look at that cute packaging. It's so adorable the way it comes. Oh, look. It comes all so nicely, neatly wrapped. It would just make such a lovely gift. But I love to use crystals when I do my manifestation, or when I do my meditation, or when I do my healing, depending on what mood I'm in. I really believe in the power of crystals. So I've got these ones from this company, Otter Spirit. And why I want to give them a shout out, they're lovely. This is bloodstone, is that they're such good quality. They're really, really, you can buy on the internet, if you go to Amazon stuff, you can get duped with those sort of dodgy, low quality ones where they tell you it's crystal, but it's really just glass. But this company, it makes these, oh, I want to put it here, very, very, very heavy. They feel like you can feel that it's really high quality crystal. It is top grade crystal you're going to get with these. And particularly, I feel like they just make wonderful gifts for yourself, for friends to do with your, manifestation. I got three of them and they really are real crystals. That's why I wanted to mention them. And also, I love otters. I don't know if you know that about me. If you follow me on Facebook, you know I love cute animals in general, and I love otters in particular. And when you buy from Otter Spirit, you don't only get these lovely boxes with this really cute little otter face on there, but they donate money for the American otter to, take care and invest in its preservation and to help the American otters. So a big shout out to my American friends. So you're not only getting really good quality crystals, absolutely top quality. You can just feel the quality, you can feel the weight, very, very well made, and really can feel the energy and the vibes coming off them. I got three, and I got the Aries pack because for my Aries energy. But you're also helping the American otters. So I really just wanted to give them a mention. And I'm going to give you a little code and the information in the description box if you'd like to purchase some of these for yourself, for a loved one. I just love them, and I just love the sound. They are such top quality. So, I only want to bring you top quality stuff that I really believe in. And I do believe in the power of crystals and working with crystals. They definitely enhance manifestation, enhance well-being, and they just do a plethora of things. So yeah, Otter Spirit, check out the description box for coupon code and go and check them out. And you're supporting American otters. Can't say better than that, really. You're getting so much for your money. Really good prices as well for the real crystals. So that was my little ad break. And I'd also like to do another advert for the Time Chronicles. I'd really, really appreciate it all if you would go over, listen to the Time Chronicles. It's a 3 hour journey, but well worth the journey if you want to be in the loop of the real ET information and to understand a bit more what's going on here on planet Earth. And it goes all the way back to the beginning of the grifters and the BS, like where it all originated from. See, a lot of people, you're in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, you're going through your awakening and you're on the internet and you hear like all these terms going around: Galactic Federation, Ashtar Command, all, the Arcturians, all of these things. And you don't really know where they came from. Who started these things? Who were the original grifters who were just really in it for the money, for the fame? When you go back and you look at the stories of where this information originated from, the brain gates open. The penny drops, the brain gates start to open. And then you can start understanding the difference between grifter information and real information, right? So I do really recommend you go to check out the Time Chronicles. And, what me and Starfire are really trying to do here is to preserve as well the soul. We don't want souls to be going into the soul traps or going to the vol energy. We don't, the more energy it gets, the more hungry it gets. It's never satisfied. It always needs more, 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 more. It's like a sugar junkie. It's a soul, stardust soul junkie. So it's important to understand grifters, false information, false systems, because all those systems are there to close down your brain gates, meaning make you more dumb, make you further and further away from the truth. And the further you drift away from the truth, the easier it is to seduce you to release your soul into these systems that just want to feed it into that vol energy, which really is the original sin. Original sin had nothing to do with Adam and Eve, humans, apples, biting in gardens of Eden. None of that. That was, I don't even know what that story was about. But that was, again, probably Volshade nonsense handed to us. Nothing to do with reality. And yeah, it just made me understand why, I always wondered, why do our souls need saving? Saving our souls, saving them from what? Now, of course, Christians believe it's saving it from hell and the devil, which is maybe slightly more close. It's a good idea, but then you don't want to be tricked into thinking that you're saving your soul from hell while you're promising it to something else. This is why, calling things Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, using these names that aren't really just calling it the origin, the source of all that is, which is what the true creator really is. You're promising your soul to a named being, right? And then, yeah, the black boxes. I do believe this is a symbol of the soul traps. So that's what I wanted to get online and talk to you guys about today. Do go and check out Otter Spirit and support them. I think they're a fantastic company and they really have good customer service and very, very top quality crystals. So, my dears, I will love you and leave you and see you on the next episode of The Pursuit of Happiness. One love.